Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to World of Tanks. Or rather, I should say hello and welcome back, Juggernaut, to World of Tanks. Now, a few months ago, I vowed that I will not play this game again, and I uninstalled it. And I bid my farewell to it because, honestly, I was more than disgusted with some of the practices that Wargaming has shown recently. The most recent controversy regarding Yuxin and, the whole content creator drama and everything just, furthered an already existing, not really dilemma, already existing hatred that I had towards the game, but mainly it was the monetization practices, the assembly shop after assembly shop, the battle pass after loot box event that we had going over and over and over again, an introduction of new and continuingly more, no, I'm not going to be mild, continuingly more BS overpowered premium tanks, like, and I own them so I can talk about them, freely, I suppose in that sense, like, where is it? I would argue the Defender is where this really should have stopped, right? Because this thing's armor is above and beyond stupid. But at any rate, it's not the worst by any stretch of the imagination. This is the BZ-176. I have this tank, I've played with this tank, and it's abysmally good. Like, bad for the game, but it's abysmal, right? It's an abysmal tank, both in looks and design and in everything. It's firepower. This, I think, is an annoying little bastard that shouldn't be in the game, and so on and so forth. You get the idea, right? Plenty of overpowered tanks over there, and then recently, just after I've stopped playing the game, I find out that, let me see if I can find this artillery in the thing over here. I probably can't, right? The tier 5 little, premium artillery, the Lefhash, the LFH, yeah, the one that tends to one-shot most tier 5 and 6 tanks, with its artillery mechanics unchanged, unlike any other tank in the game. Yeah, that one was on sale, so goodbye to any reasonable tier 5 and 6 matchmaking, I suppose. And so all of these things, and then, put on top of that the World of Tanks Plus program, which I barely got over because I think it's ridiculous, even after it's been nerfed. That I absolutely despised. And then on top of all of that, we have another monetization mechanic in the form of, where is it? The depot. It's been a while since I played, so you'll forgive me, I can't really find it instantly, but somewhere in here is it? It's not in the garage. Is it in the store? It would be, wouldn't it? It would be, and it would make sense for it to be in the store, but of course they wouldn't put it in the store, would they? No, that's exterior, that's vehicles, that's premium account, battle pass, best. No, it's somewhere in here. I swear it was. Juggernaut, you should have prepared this ahead of time. I now wasn't really thinking about talking about this. Yeah, here we go. This little BS right here. These things, the fact that you can disassemble them into parts and then upgrade them and reassemble them into more BS parts. The fire control systems, all of these things, right? At the very least, you can't earn them straight up by paying for them. You have to earn them via missions and via events and stuff like that. So I suppose that was a balancing factor in here somewhere. But then at the same time, you got the bounty stuff, and the bounty stuff is relatively easy to get, and you can get a ton of it, and if you have enough money, you can upgrade it and get just ludicrously better equipment. And so, guess what? Now if you buy yourself, let's not go with the most premium and most powerful tank, let's go with a regular tier 8. Let's go with, I still have premium selected, don't I? No, I don't. Alright, let's go with an Indian Panzer. Why not, right? Let's say you get yourself an Indian Panzer. Well, all of a sudden, this equipment isn't going to cut it, because you're going to get people who invest in the bounty equipment, who invest in the experimental equipment, and upgrade all of this, and have paid enough money in the game to have all of these things. and you're screwed, because the guy has either more survivability, better firepower, can spot you further out. It has a better tank than you in every way, shape, and form, despite being in the exact same vehicle. Yikes. And I hated all of it. I hated the premium tanks, I hated all of it, and it got progressively worse and worse through time. Until yesterday, when I found out about World of Tanks 2.0. And it's not World of Tanks 2 Electric Boogaloo, no, it's the same game, except they've done a little bit of changing, and a little tiny bit of rebalancing. Just a smidge, yeah, just a tiny little bit. What did they rebalance? Every single vehicle in the game. Yeah. And so you understand how that can be a bit of yeah, it's a bit of a change, right? Anyways, I have some warm-up battles to do because I haven't played this game in ages. In fact, it's been more than 9 months? 6 months? It hasn't been a full year, surely. No, it hasn't been a full year because I did the Christmas thing, I'm pretty sure. And at any rate, I'm going to do the warm-up battles as I continue talking about this because, well, it's interesting, this new patch. And if you want to go through the full list of changes, it's, well, first and foremost, it's going to take you a lot of time. But more so than that, what is this? 13, is that how old I am? Mentally speaking, because I completely agree. I forgot a lot of these things. Jesus. Well, the game looks similar enough. I want to say to what I'm used to. So yeah, let's go. These are all bots I'm playing against, I'm assuming. Yeah. No, apart from one guy who has a Steam icon. Okay, you know what? I shouldn't be going up here, but since we're playing against bots, I'm going to go up here. At any rate, the list of changes goes beyond just rebalancing every single tank in the game, but effectively, they've introduced tier 11 tanks, and they've rebalanced every single tank, more or less. Now, there is a couple of tanks which received some hilarious changes, like, there was one that received a change that was really funny. I don't remember the exact tank, but one of them, the change was the splash radius for its HE shells went from, let's say, 3.5 meters to 3.51. So the splash radius was increased by, what is that? That's like a centimeter, right? Lovely. I mean, what more could you ask for? That was really the one thing that the tank was missing from being a true powerhouse in the game. What can I say? I mean, it's just freaking hilarious. But at the same time, most of the tanks did receive meaningful changes. More HP, and most of the regular tanks, the tech tree tanks, have received a buff. So now they're a little bit more playable compared to their premium counterparts, right? And all of these things I welcome full-heartedly. I think this is awesome for the game. Tier 11 tanks, I think, are also fine, in that I think they should be introduced to the game. We've had tier 10 tanks for God knows how long, and introducing another tier, more modern tanks into the game, even though most of them are paper tanks, and by that I mean not their armor, I mean that they only ever existed on paper, but guess what? Most of the 800 vehicles present in the game here currently have only ever existed on paper or as one prototype made as a joke somewhere, right? Like, these are the vast majority of the tanks we have in the game, I would say, are not real, in the sense that they saw any extensive military service or usage. So that ship has sailed a long time ago, and that's fine. Like, I never looked at this as a realistic tank simulator, and so I don't have a problem with it in that sense. However, the changes that Tier 11 brings now, both to the economy and to everything, and the rebalancing with the tanks, and all the other economic changes that have been promised, give me hope. And I'm thinking, is this enough to, you know, give the game another shot? And a part of me thinks that it is, because, well, another big change that they've introduced is that they've made the game a lot more friendly towards people that have free-to-play accounts and people that have new accounts. So the stock grind for most vehicles is now significantly less painful. And by that I mean stock tanks have been improved. Some of their worst and most useless equipment has just been removed from the game, and some of the improved equipment that you would unlock is now the default equipment for those tanks. And so, yeah, it's better. The game is better for this patch, no question about it. Now, does the patch change any of the major gripes that I had with the World of Tanks Plus, with the Battle Pass, with the loot boxes and everything? No, of course it doesn't. Those are the main ways of monetizing the game for World of Tanks, and those are not really going to change anytime soon. But at the same time, I didn't really expect that to change. I had realistic expectations from patch 2.0, and I mean, dare I say it, those expectations have been basically met, right? In that the game has improved. I would say meaningfully so. And, yeah. Sorry, trying to focus on playing and talking at the same time, which I haven't done in a while. Like I said, this is my first battle in God knows how long, but yeah. At any rate, it doesn't change some of the core issues that I had problems with. No. But does it change enough for me to go, yeah, you know what, this game's now alright again and I can play it? I think that it does. I think that there's enough here in this patch to make you go, you know what, I'm gonna give the game another shot. Especially with the new tanks and the rebalancing and everything, I think it's fine. Oh really? Well, there you go, you don't have 2 fire extinguishers, do you? That would be a bit much, thank you. Geez, you would think I've done enough damage in this game to make a difference at 8-3, but with 4,000 damage, we're still, like, haven't really pushed much anywhere, any reasonable place. Alright, one more and he's mine. Okay, get out of here. Or maybe push with the Italian? Why not? Push with the Italian stallion. What's the worst thing that can happen? During what you do, we realize that is most likely a bot that you are pushing with. No, actually, it's the one player, isn't it? Come on, Italian stallion. Don't let me down. Spasibo. Oh, there we go, just a couple of tanks left. Alright, for a warm-up battle against bots, honestly, not the worst thing ever. I forgot how to shoot, how to aim, I forgot everything. Oddly enough, didn't forget the spotting mechanics, because that has been ingrained into me over the years, I say. Double bushes and everything. Ah, it's a shame. I missed the reticle mod. Off with his head. I missed the reticle mod. I'm gonna have to install that again. Also, I hear that there's some new mods out there available for the game, and that you know, some quality of life improvements and stuff like that. Excited to try those out as well. And then the one thing that I would say is a big change for me is how you view the game. If you try and view this game to the maximum level of competitiveness, you are going to despise it. And not gonna lie, I was pretty competitive in this game. I wanted to be, well, I didn't want to be the best, but I wanted to do my objectives, right, which I had, which was marking tanks, and I had things that I wanted to do, and please don't kill me at the very end of the battle. Okay, That'll do. Good. So, there were these things that I wanted to do in this game, right? And every time World of Tanks introduces a new change that's based on the economy of the game, usually it leans a little bit more towards pay to win. In that, if you pay enough money for the game, be it through improved battle passes, be it through events, be it through whatever, be it through loot boxes, the chances are you're going to get a little bit better at the game. You're going to get a little bit more powerful at the game. Sorry. And then that was a problem, and it continues to be a problem because. Yeah, it's discouraging more so than anything else. I mean, aside from the fact that it's annoying when you come across against, like I said, a tank that's exactly the same as yours, with probably the exact same crew skills and everything, and yet despite all of that, what ends up happening is he just beats the living snot out of you. It's discouraging, right? It's BS, and it's discouraging. Why the hell did I pay 55,000? In repairs for that battle? Hello? Oh, and I'm not allowed to look at the yes, I am. Yes, I am. It took a bit. Okay. Ammunition auto resupply 55,000. Did I run out of armor piercing and started shooting this midway through and didn't realize it? I'm gonna have to go back and watch because it's a lot of money. 55,000 credits spent for ammunition is a lot. Huh. Well, whatever. Let's see. Let's pick another tank. Like I said, it was more so than just annoying when you encounter it. It was discouraging. It was discouraging to play, and I didn't like it. I didn't care much for it. But now that the tech tree tanks are getting rebalanced, now that, like I said, these other changes are being introduced, some of the problems are still there, but if you look at the game more so as an arcade shooter where, yeah, it's the same tank that you're going up against, even though you're driving the same tank, could be vastly different from what you have and more powerful and whatever, and if you accept that and just sort of move on, I figure the game can still be a decent amount of fun, right? At least that's what I'm hoping will happen, that I'm going to have a decent amount of fun with the game, despite all of its outstanding problems, shall we say. And, yeah, that's sort of it as far as the game's concerned, and as far as what I think about it thus far, because, oh, this will be a nice little thing to, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, you're not here for the gameplay, so I might as well treat you to some. It's 35,000 for that and 55,000 for the. Not quite sure I understand how that happened, but okay. Small repair kit, this, and this. I don't really use extra rations. Although I do on tanks I'm trying to mark, I think, that need a little bit of an extra buff to their capabilities, but yeah. Wait, hold on. I didn't mark the Panther 2, right? Yes, I never marked the Panther 2. Okay. I'm not just whatchamacallit? Re-upgrading on re-researching. That's definitely not a word, but I'm not just you know, doing this to a tank that I already own. 14,000 for the tracks, and then we can get some proper equipment on it. Okay. Go to the exterior. I'm sure I have ample 2D styles. I also have 3D attachments for the thing. I don't care much for the 3D attachments, honestly. I kind of prefer the 2D styles or the 3D styles. Although you can equip 2D styles with the 3D attachments, which I'm pretty sure wasn't a thing at one point. Like, I'm pretty sure these could only be equipped with paint and camo, rather than a style. But, yeah, guess why they changed that, I suppose. Alright, let's go. I mean, styles is just easier, honestly. Let's go with tornado alert. Yeah. That looks nice. Although a panther isn't much of a tornado in any sense of the word, especially in this game. Rojo? Is that an egg? Is that someone frying an egg on top of... That is indeed 2 eggs being fried. Okay, you know what? Why not? Why not? God, I have a lot of these. Oh, no, we're going with the collector. This is me in some other life when I'm a lot richer and can afford these things. From the depths, not really. You put this on Arta, right? Because you know when the artillery drowns and it's from the depths. Now this is going to fit the panther a lot more. There you go. We found the style for it. Perfect. And then let's attach some thing on it, I suppose. A drum kit, naval mines, really? Extra ammunition. Could put that on the side. You know what, that actually looks decent on the tank. Like, this does not. This does not. I like that. You know what, I like this. Fine, there you go. There's going to be the tank. Alright, we have more warm-up battles, correct? Yes, we do. Alright, good. Anyways, back on topic. The cosmetic stuff, I really don't mind at all. In fact, I even think there's a filter somewhere in the settings to turn off non-historic. Yeah, there you go. Historical, non-historical, historical, non-historical, and fictional, and you can choose to not display them in the game. Amazing little detail. I don't think I gave Wargaming enough praise when they introduced that like years ago. It's an amazing little detail. You can have the tanks look however you want. And not just your tank, but the enemy tanks as well. But like I said, I always thought of this as an arcade shooter, and so realism isn't really an issue for me in any sense of the word, but at the same time, it's so cool that you get to change that, right? You get to just not see the $30 skin that someone paid for, right? That is funny, that you have that power, and all of a sudden all the bragging rights that that person thinks that they've inherited through the purchase of their ludicrously expensive skin is gone. Of course, I say this as a joke, because pretty much everyone in this game buys skins for themselves. In what I mean by that is they buy skins in order to look at their own tanks. It's why I got some of the skins and I haven't paid for any of them. This is all just earned through years and years and years of... I nearly said investing time into this game, but when you invest something, you expect something back, right? At some point, I don't expect anything back from this. In fact, quite the opposite. And so, no, not investing, but spending and wasting, if you will, ludicrous amounts of time on this game. And yeah, it's customization. I have no problem with. It's cool. It's everything else that the game has done over the years that really bothers me, and it's not like it's all bad, but when it is bad, it's really, really bad. And yet, with 2.0 comes not just hope that the game's going to change direction a little bit, because I think they're noticing that people are getting a little bit tired, especially with the recent controversy. I think people are spending less on the game. Now, I don't know how much of that translates financially to people spending less, how much of it is... I don't think I have any turret armor, so I probably should not be doing this, but it is a bot, so what the hell. At any rate, like I don't know how much financially that translates into problems for World of Tanks. I believe the company's doing more than well, financially speaking, but in terms of like recent numbers, right? I don't know how different they are compared to what they were, for example, this time of year last year. On a more subjective level, though, I get the feeling that people are tired. They're tired of the infinite battle passes and loot boxes, and yeah, you have some people that are going to spend ludicrous amounts of money on the game regardless of what's going on, but I think a large part of the player base doesn't want to do this anymore. Doesn't want to give them money, and a decent chunk of the player base, like myself, or rather myself among them, just have stopped, right? We've stopped paying, we've stopped playing, and I think that's a problem. And World of Tanks 2.0 is maybe a way to address that. Sure, it's not going to fix all of our issues and all our concerns with the game, but it will give us a new kind of perspective, almost. It'll give us an opportunity to look at the game a little bit differently. And that matters, right? That counts for something. And yeah, honestly, I'm here for it. Even if it doesn't change everything, it'll change how I look at the game. And I think that's important enough to warrant giving the game another shot and seeing what kind of experience I have, because at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, right? It doesn't matter if it's the most well-balanced game in the universe, it doesn't matter if it's the most well-loved game in the universe, or the most fair, or the, everything. It really doesn't matter. What matters at the end of the day is, are you having fun playing it? And if you are, good, all of the balancing issues, the economy and everything is sort of put is secondary to that. If you're having fun playing the game, that's important. And of course, I didn't even talk about one of the bigger changes that excites me, and that's the matchmaking. Supposedly, we're going to get a more fair matchmaker, in that the matchmaker is going to consider your skill level a little bit more, and it's going to consider the type of tanks you're going up against, and so on and so forth. And so I'm excited. In fact, I'm more than excited for that. The 3-minute games and the 15-3 and the 3-15 losses have been, thus far, one of the biggest issues in the game, aside from the economy and the, everything that I talked about. But, like I said, aside from that, one of the biggest problems in the game thus far has been the unfair matches, where you either win 15-3 or you lose 15-3, and seldom do you get anything in between. These close, tight matches where you need to clutch the round, as they say in Counter-Strike, where you need to do something above and beyond and really focus and try and make a difference for your team. Long gone are those days. Those games happen in, like, I don't know, once every 10... Well, 10, no. Once every, like, 50 games, maybe. Which is the real problem, right? That once every 50 games, I get an exciting game that I care about. That's an issue. That's not good. In any way, shape, or form, that's not good. And I got myself stuck in here, haven't I? Yes, I have. Yeah. Front and behind. Now, I am in a stock tank, and I'm talking, and I'm not really thinking about where I'm going and what I'm doing, but be that as it may, it gives me hope. It gives me hope that as an account that has been created in... Where can I see this? Service record, right? As an account that was created on the 20th of May, 2012. 2012. It gives me hope that all of this time invested, and all of this time spent, and all of this time wasted here in the game, I say that in a half jokingly, that it hasn't been in vain, and I won't just chuck the game out the window and never touch it again, that it will improve and that it will get better, and that some of the grievances and problems that I have with it will change and will go back to the way they were a couple of years ago, where it wasn't as aggressive, the monetization. But anyway, a little bit of gameplay, a little bit of rambling, and I'm gonna call this video like a rant. Oh, whoops, got a call from someone. Give me a second. Oh, sorry about that. So, as I was saying, what was I saying? Oh, for Christ's sake! A bit of gameplay, a bit of a rant, and I think I'm gonna call the video just that, like a rant, because this isn't like properly articulated or prepared or anything along those lines, but yeah, it gives me hope, if nothing else, and hope is the first step on the road to disappointment, I think, right? That's the saying. But I do have it. I do have some hope that the game will go back to being less aggressive in terms of its monetization, and that, you know, we're going to get something good out of it. Hopefully. But, at any rate, my name is Juggernaut. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, this chaotic video of me going back to World of Tanks. I wanted to just share my opinion on it a little bit. And that's about it. I will see you all next time. Have fun. Take care. Bye-bye.